Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about The Blood of Olympus, the fifth and final book of the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. The only thing I can say about this book without spoiling you is that I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. So if you have not read this book or any of the other books in the Heroes of Olympus series, you need to go read those books before you watch any of my discussion videos. So until you read these books, goodbye non-spoiler people. I had very mixed feelings after finishing The Blood of Olympus because I loved the Mark of Athena and the House of Hades so much that I expected The Blood of Olympus to blow my mind. The book wasn't bad, but I was kind of disappointed. The first thing that disappointed me is there was no Percy and Annabeth points of view, which I feel would have made some of the other scenes flow better. Not that I'm saying that I didn't enjoy the other characters' points of view just as much. And at the ending of the book with the Battle of the Giants, I felt that everyone should have had at least one point of view so that you could get their thoughts and feelings about fighting alongside their godly parent. It would have made the book a little bit longer, yes, but it also would have made it a lot more enjoyable to read that fight with the giants. Because about the battle with Gaia, you blink and the battle is over. I'll get to that later. Then we had the fact that no one dies in the book. Okay, halfway through the book they're leading up to the fact that Leo is going to die, so you're pretty much expecting Leo to die, and you're expecting it so much that you know he's not going to stay dead, especially because of the physician's cure. The only character that we actually know of that dies is Octavian, and no one cares if Octavian dies. If you did care, I'm sorry I offended you, but most people did not care. I also felt that a lot of things weren't resolved in this book, like with Raina. We find out a little bit about her past, but I wanted to learn more about her past. And I wanted to learn how that whole message she got from Aphrodite was going to turn out. And I have to admit, for the longest time, I thought that her and Orion were going to end up together, since Aphrodite said there wasn't going to be any demigods able to heal her heart. And it's like, is her and Orion going to become a thing? Because he really wasn't a bad giant, he was more of a spiteful one. He's been rejected again and again by women he loved, so I kind of felt bad for the guy, and I didn't want him to die. I kind of wanted him to turn over a new leaf and be able to have a relationship with Raina and everything would turn out fine. Sadly, that didn't happen. So I really want to know how Raina's story is going to play out. And I liked Raina too much to just assume that she's going to be alone the rest of her life. So I really wanted some kind of solution to her problem. I mean, it can be resolved in a very small span of time. Rick Riordan's very good about doing that. So I'm hoping later on he writes a novella about her. And something that really surprised me in this book was Raina kept on talking about the hostility that the Athena statue is radiating, and in the end when she's fighting Orion, she gets strength from her mom, but she also gets a cloak from Athena that basically saves her life from the bomb. When Blackjack got shot and Raina was going to use her own body to protect him from the blast. That just broke my heart. Moving on from Raina, we have Nico. My baby Nico. I love him so much. I was so glad that we got some chapters from his point of view. Even though they were very short chapters, Nico in this book is so flippin' badass. I mean, not only is he shadow traveling to other people in a statue across the world, but he's also taking care of some of the battles. Like getting rid of that Brian Lawrence. That was so flippin' scary, the way he basically ghostified the guy, but it was so awesome at the same time. And I love how on their journey there's just this one little point where Hades shows up and they have this cute little father-son moment. They're in this building that's made of human skeletons, and Hades just pops up out of nowhere. A beautiful room, isn't it? Getting some redecorating ideas? Maybe you could do your dining room in medieval monk skulls. I can never tell when you're joking. I just thought that was a very cute father-son moment, because all the moments you've seen between Hades and Nico have really been around Persephone. At least I think they've all been around Persephone. And they've been a little bit hostile. And I thought maybe Hades was just tolerating Nico because he was his only living heir at that point. But no, in this we see that, he actually does have maternal feelings for Nico. I want to talk briefly about Octavian's death. I think it was really big of Nico to just let it go, not have anything to do with this. I mean, He's the son of Hades, which means that he can feel when someone is close to death. I'm not sure if that works, if it's going to be an accidental death like Octavian's was, but you would also think, as the son of Hades, he would want to try to prevent death. And he had learned from his father in this that some deaths cannot be prevented, and they shouldn't be prevented. So I thought it was really big of Nico to just let it go and let Octavian do what he was going to do. And even though he was tearing himself up about that because of Leo, we get no resolution on that at all. It's like, Leo is still freaking alive, and we have no clue at the end of the book where he's going. He does have intentions to go to Camp Half-Blood and let all his friends know he's okay, but we get no resolution in that. It's like, why couldn't we had, like, maybe a paragraph where he's landing in Camp Half-Blood? It doesn't even have to be him interacting with the others. As long as he's landing in Camp Half-Blood, we know that everyone's gonna know he's okay and that all is right with the world. But no, him and Calypso are just riding off into the unknown in the end. But getting back to Nico. I love the interactions between Nico and Will. I just felt that there was too few of them. It's like, couldn't there have been like half a chapter in the end after the battle where we got to see some kind of relationship form between those two? Which I guess we do kind of get the sense that a relationship is forming. In the short time that we know Will, I love the way he just puts his foot down when it comes to Nico and says, no, you're not shadow traveling. No, you're not doing any underworld magic tricks anymore. And then one point he just points down at the ground by his feet and it's like, you here now. So I love how he has some control over Nico. It's like when Will gives him the chewing gum to give him energy for a few hours during the battle. You idiot, I told you no more underworld magic. I'm fine. Shut up, you're not. Will dug out a pack of gum. Nico wanted to pull away. He hated physical contact, but Will was a lot stronger than he looked. Nico found himself leaning against him, relying on his support. Take this. You want me to chew gum? It's medicinal. Should keep you alive and alert for a few more hours. Tastes like dirt and tar. Stop complaining. And we only get 2 or 3 small moments like that, but they are so cute. And I can't help fangirling. I hope that we get to see more of their relationship in the Hidden Oracle, because I just finished the book last night and I'm already Nico deprived. Another thing that I loved about Nico is how that he tells Percy about his crush in the end. It's like, oh my god, you just told Percy that you had a crush on him. I squealed so bad, especially since he didn't really give Percy a chance to, you know, process this and then respond. He just walks away. It's like, oh my god, Nico, you can't lay that on somebody and just walk away. And I've seen a lot of stuff on Pinterest about Percy saying, oh, I thought I wasn't your type. So I assumed something like that would happen in the book. It didn't. And I'm kind of disappointed about that now. I thought that would be really funny. Frank and Hazel didn't really have much of a play in this book. I felt that Frank, Hazel, Annabeth, and Percy were kind of like side characters. They were there to support Leo, Piper, and Jason, but otherwise they really didn't have much of a purpose, and I kind of hated that. And I know that this series started with Leo, Piper, and Jason, but it's the prophecy of 7, not the prophecy of 7, but these 3 are the main important ones. So I felt that the other 4 needed a lot more limelight than they got. Well, we do see Frank and Hazel. I mean, Frank is more in charge now, and he's become more confident, and Hazel's control of the mist has gotten scary good. And other than that, we really don't see or hear much from them. Piper and Jason, on the other hand, their points of view didn't annoy me like they did in the first 3 books. Like The House of Hades, I kind of enjoyed reading from their point of view. But I also thought that we were in their points of view too much. I mean, I liked seeing how Piper changes and becomes more dependable, and her and Annabeth become friends. I liked seeing that moment between the 2 of them, especially considering that normally Annabeth, with all her logic, doesn't really get along with all the emotion that comes with being a child of Aphrodite. So it was nice seeing those 2 personalities come together and they become such great friends. Then we have Jason, and the only part I really liked reading from Jason's point of view was when they were battling Percy's half-sister Khaim something, whatever, I cannot say her name for the life of me, and Polybatis. And thankfully, Jason doesn't get knocked out in this book. Oh, he does get stabbed. Nice outfit. Can you hold it together if we go deeper? I have no idea how I'm doing this. Okay, well just don't get knocked unconscious. Shut up, Jackson. Thank you, Percy, for pointing out something obvious that was irritating everyone from Arc of Athena. But Jason does have a redeeming moment that is very Percy and Leo-ish, and that's when he's promising Kim all these things that he will get her if she sides with him and helps him destroy Polybatis. Tons of cowering, plus your name in the summer program, a custom-designed banner, a cabin at Camp Half-Blood, 2 shrines, I'll even throw in an action figure. And Polybatis is in the background wailing, "No, not merchandising rights." Merchandising rights. Get on that, Gaia. But that was one of the few moments where I found Jason funny. He loosens up a lot in this book, and you can really see that in the end. When him and Piper are underneath the stars and he doesn't care about breaking the rules. And then we have Leo, who knew he was going to die and was preparing for it. But in his preparations, I never would have expected him to rebuild Festus from inside the ship. And then when it came time for him to battle Gaia, Festus would become a dragon again. And oh my god, Festus reborn. I loved it so much. I loved it even more that he didn't get destroyed by that Octavian comet. Because I loved Festus the dragon. I was so sad when he died, and I am so happy that he's been reborn. Of the 7, Leo's my second favorite character. I just love him so much, and he is so funny. Like when he's talking to Apollo, and he's inventing this musical instrument without really even thinking of it. I'm not exactly sure if it'll work for anyone besides Leo, so Apollo may have gotten gypped in that deal. But what the funny part was is what he named it. The Vil Designator. It's like, what a name for a musical instrument, but it's so Leo too. Another funny moment is when they're taking on the statue, Hygiena and her snake, and Leo puts them on idiot mode. I'd say I would love to play a game on idiot mode. It would be hilarious. But I think that was really one of Leo's shining moments, is to put a giant healing statue and snake on idiot mode and watch them destroy themselves when they can't even be destroyed. Then we have at the end with Leo and Calypso, and I'm so glad that he made it to Calypso's island. I'm not sure if they were actually following the navigation device with the crystal, or if the way they found the island was just that all their other navigation devices weren't working. Not sure how that all worked. But I'm happy he found the island again and they're reunited, and it is so, so cute. Especially considering the first thing she says to him is, "You're late." I really wanted to see more of Leo and Calypso's relationship. It's like in the House of Hades, we got a couple of chapters with them, and that was all cute and really touching. But I was expecting in The Blood of Olympus for us to have like maybe at least a whole chapter of Leo finding her and then being reunited after however length of time. Leo's only a couple weeks, but for Calypso, it could have been 100 years. We don't know where they're going after they leave the island, which is really irritating. Going into this book, I thought the ending was going to be like it was in The Last Olympian. I think probably the first 30 to 50 pages in The Last Olympian was them getting ready for the battle, and then the rest of it was small battles leading up to the giant battle. This one wasn't like that. It was basically a small little mini quest before the giant battle took place, and the giant battle took place in like 8 chapters. You could have seriously blinked and the battle would have been over. You have the battle with the giants where Annabeth and Percy's blood gets spilt on the stones. And can I just say, who would have ever thought that Percy's nosebleed could have potentially been the beginning of the apocalypse? It was probably the most out there thing that Rick Riordan could have done that none of us would have expected. You never know with a Rick Riordan book. I have come to expect the unexpected. But this is the point where I wanted points of view from all the characters, because you had Piper fighting with Aphrodite, Percy fighting with Poseidon, and I really wanted to see how they were going to interact. But we really only get the point of view of Jason and him fighting with Zeus, and you get to see all the characters fighting from Jason's point of view. But that's not really enough, and it seemed like Jason's fight lasted maybe 5 seconds before it was over. And Jason and Zeus have this beautiful father-son moment after he ticks Zeus off. The winds. Father, can't you unleash the winds to send our ship back? I could slap you back to Long Island. Was that a joke? Or a threat? Or... No, I mean literally. I could slap you back to Camp Half-Blood. But the force involved. And I couldn't help cracking up at that part because I never really thought of Zeus having a sense of humor, but that was like a beautiful moment. And I kind of thought he really meant that he could have slapped him back to Long Island, you know, in the face. So they get literally slapped back to Long Island. Leo appears to go down with the ship, but the ship becomes Festus, and they grab Gaia right as she's risen out of the ground. And Jason and Piper, of course, go to help. Jason really doesn't do anything except get Piper up there so she can put Gaia to sleep. And Leo does the rest of the work. And then, wouldn't you know it, Jason gets knocked unconscious. This time it seems like it's Piper's fault though, so can't really blame him on that one. But this again, it's like the battle is too short. But then we move on to the ending of the battle where everybody's making their plans for the future. It surprised me that Ella, Tyson, and Rachel were all going to go back to New Rome to try to reconstruct the syllabi book. Prophecies still aren't working. And that's not that bad for the demigods, considering every time a prophecy is made, it's like screws up their life. And it potentially can kill everyone on the planet. So I'm good with no prophecies for a while. Then we have Frank and Hazel, which all we learn from them is they're going back to New Rome. Then we have Piper and Jason. Piper, of course, is going to stay in Camp Half-Blood. Jason is going to be staying with her, but he's going to be going between both camps and making shrines and cabins and stuff for the rest of the gods and goddesses that have been ignored to this point, so that they feel less ignored and maybe the gods will be less likely to have battles and arguments and basically suck the demigods into their problems. Good luck with that one, Jason. Good luck with that one. We have Leo and Calypso, which we have no effing clue what they're doing, but they're doing it together, which is what everybody wanted, is for them to be together. So we would have liked a little bit of closure, like what the hell are they doing now that they're together? Then we have Nico and Will, and I think Will may have feelings for Nico. Not really 100% sure because we don't really get to see him interacting with other people. This may just be the way he interacts with people. And then we have Nico, who is over his crush with Percy because, you know, he blatantly tells Percy that he's over him. And then we think he may have had a crush on Jason. That's never really confirmed, but it's hinted at enough. I'm not sure where their relationship is flipping going, but I hope we learn in the Hidden Oracle because my head is going to pop if we don't. Then we have our last pair, Percy and Annabeth. Their plans are to spend their senior year together at Camp Half-Blood. Then they're going to go to New Rome for college, and then they're going to stay at New Rome afterwards. So they plan on making a family together. We all saw that coming. If they hadn't ended up together, I'm pretty sure the fangirls would have gone Roman on Rick Riordan. But that is interesting because from what I hear, Percy and Annabeth are in the Hidden Oracle. So I have a feeling they're not going to get their happily ever after until Apollo's a god again. Hopefully then. I mean, I would love more books for Percy and Annabeth, but I'm kind of at the point where I feel that they deserve to have their happy ending and to not be dragged into the gods' problems anymore. So those are my thoughts and feelings about The Blood of Olympus. If I had to choose a favorite moment out of this book, I think it would probably be any time that Nico and Will interact with each other because it was just so cute. And I love Nico, and I love the fact that he has somebody now. Or he potentially has somebody now. Let me know in the comments below what your guys' favorite moment was, and also let me know what aggravated you most about this book. I mean, as the final book of this series, I wasn't satisfied. I mean, I did highly enjoy the book, but it wasn't a satisfying ending. It wasn't what I wanted from an ending of a series that I have really come to love. So let me know your thoughts about the book. Well, that is it for this discussion video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!